We used to write them very fast in those days. We used to just say, like, subject for it, say, like, Paul looking in the paper, what about career opportunities, you know? And then just like that, because it was always a column in the Standard called Career Opportunities at that time. And, you know, then that was it. And it was like, you know, half an hour later it would be done, you know. Joe would do some words and I'd just sort of knock out a bit of a tune, and then that was kind of how it was, very fast, and just like, give us half an hour and we'll just do a tune. It was really like that. We'd just go upstairs, top rehearsals if we needed one. 48 thrills only took about 24 minutes. The Arts Festival was the last gig that I did with Clash. Yeah, so that was there was none bigger than that. And that's why I thought it was, you know, significant. There was a bit of a scuffle at the end that was sort of symbolic of the whole mayhem. So it's good though, the whole thing. Fantastic. I can't, you know. And who couldn't write good tunes with such great lyrics? And, you know, fantastic drumming, and it was great to be with Paul. You know, he was just there and totally already there, probably from when I first met him. Bastard. The idea was not to become totally going down this narrow lane and getting narrower and narrower. You know, we wanted to branch out in all ways, musically, but also the lyrics had a fantastic breadth of, you know, they were diverse in a lot of things, a lot of new ideas coming through that way as well, making people think or giving people information, and then they would pick up on things, you know. Even the title, The Sandinista, seemed at the time to be kind of like informative. People were going, well, what's that? And, you know, the first time people heard it, and people, I don't know, all over the place, South America, noticing something was going on, and just a lot. And also we never wanted to be like totally like put in a box. I thought it was important that we kind of kept moving, so we were able to, and we didn't care, we just tried anything we wanted to. I remember it was November the 5th, and so that was why it was called a Night of Treason. And I remember a fight that was, there was some people, and Sid jumping off into the audience and Paul and Joe following. Someone had to stay in tune, you know, and I guess that was Terry's last gig in the first period that he played with us as well. I remember sort of the bottles bouncing off the cymbals. The first groups I liked were, you know, the Kinks and the Animals, the Beatles and Stones, obviously, and Small Faces, The Who. Groups like that was the first thing. And then there was a blues club at school, and they used to play like blues records, and it was about the time of the British blues boom, you know. Groups like Fleetwood Mac and John Mayall's Blues Breakers. And then came Cream and Hendrix, and that was, you know, big mind-blowing time. Started noticing these groups coming through, like the MC5 and the Stooges, and that kind of thing was something different again. You know, the MC5 were a really radical group, and they were like kind of backed by the White Panther Party out of Michigan, and John Sinclair, and they had like manifestos and things like that. So I didn't realise at the time, it didn't have any effect on me at the time, but there was some comparisons later on, and the Stooges, and sort of what was called like punk then. It was kind of garage music, I guess, but punk was used as well. And then the New York Dolls came along and they were like totally from another planet, you know. We were playing with this drummer called Roland, maybe. He was a French guy, and he was playing with us in the London SS, which was a kind of a, it wasn't a proper group, you know. It was just a bunch of people, but mainly Tony James and myself. And then a lot of other people who came through because we used to hold weekly auditions, you know. That actually, all we did was auditions. We had a little basement just off Parade Street, and we had our equipment set up there, and then we had the use of a cafe around the corner, and we put our records on the jukebox, and during the week we just took people's numbers and we constantly had ads in the Melody Maker, and just you know, it was the usual stuff like telling them a little bit the sort of groups, you know, Stooges, Dolls, MC5, No Breadheads, that kind of thing, you know. I mean, and we met a lot of people in the CAF, and we used to sort of screen them there, and then if we thought they were any good, we'd take them round to the rehearsal and try them out musically. And Paul came first with Roland. He was a friend of this guy Roland, and who was drumming with us at the time. And when Paul walked in, he looked really good, you know. He just looked great, and so I said to him, do you sing? Because we used to just try people out, you know what I mean? If we thought they were the right person, then that would be enough, you know. You didn't need any further criteria. And we just said, come on, you know, and we struck up Jonathan Richman's Roadrunner, you know, radio on, it's nothing, it's just that, with guitar. And he'd never heard the song before, and, you know, but we said, just do Radio On, you know, and he's just doing Radio On, and it didn't really work out, but he made enough of an impression on me. And then a few weeks passed maybe, and then ran into him again, maybe in the pub on Portobello, Finch's or whatever, one in the corner with the garden, and you know, I felt he started saying, I'd like, you know, I want to be in a group with you, you know. He started saying this kind of, well, that's how I heard it anyway, that he was, you know, started like, and it was so, you know, really great, even then. I worked my way up to guitarist, really. I started off playing stylophone, if you remember the Rolf Harris instrument, and then after that I took up the drums, and then I progressed from the drums to the bass, and then the bass is good too, but I thought I could handle the two more strings, you know, but then it was like, I'm going to stick now, because that is the coolest place, I thought, was the guitar player. I guess it was because of like Keith Richards and Mick Ronson. I like Jeff Beck too. We did just a tour of Texas to prepare for the US Festival. Then we like flew back for a press conference through the night, through a thunderstorm. We didn't really know what was going on, a lot of the stuff that was going on. There was big banners appeared behind us saying Clash not for sale, and entered into arguments with the other groups. And just before we went on, even Bernie wanted us to do a press conference, and we were really by the end of it, the pier by that time. And Joe just, there was all these people, they set up a table, like a press conference table at the side of the stage, and we were supposed to have a press conference before we went on stage, at Bernie's insistence, because we had something to say, and Joe was like, he just put his back to everybody. He was like tons of pressmen. He just put his back to everybody. He couldn't speak. None of us could, and in the end, Cosmo forcibly made Bernie sit and answer the questions, and then we went on stage, and Joe was like, "You don't understand. We're nowhere up here." And he, you know, he was trying to say something that was really how we felt.